Jazz 88.3 in the new Jazz Thing. Music there from Rondi Charleston, and the title track from her latest release, In My Life. We'll be chatting with her a little bit more about her upcoming date tomorrow night here in town, and this new disc, In My Life, coming up on the new Jazz Thing, Jazz 88.3.
Support for Jazz 88.3 comes from this company. They're acknowledging a business that knows and values public radio. They know that supporting Jazz 88.3 and all that we do builds a positive image for them. If you'd like to learn more about building a positive image for your business, call me, Ann Bauer, at 619-388-3301.
Blues are alive and well Saturday nights here on KSDS. I'm T. It's every shade of blue from 8 until midnight. This week, we'll be listening to the winners of the Blues Music Awards. The 30th annual ceremony took place in Memphis recently. We'll be listening to the winners this Saturday night at 8. It's every shade of blue on San Diego's Jazz and Blues 88.
You're listening to the new Jazz Thing. My name is Vince Outlaw. Joining us this evening in studio is Rondi Charleston, and she's got a new disc out called In My Life, and is playing tomorrow night where?
At Dizzy's here in San Diego.
Excellent. Well, Rondi, welcome back to the new Jazz Thing.
Thank you.
So, you alluded to the fact that you've had lots of different things going on in your life and lots of different careers. And reading your bio, it was very interesting. A large life you seem to have led. How did you get introduced to music?
Well, I was born into an extremely musical family. My mother's a professional singer in Chicago. My father conducted our church choir. When we were growing up, he was also an English professor. But my brother was so musical, he was a percussionist and ended up now currently is percussioning with the New York Philharmonic and went to Juilliard right after I did. So he was always practicing drums in one room, and I was practicing piano and guitar and singing in another room. My mother was teaching voice in another. It was pretty much mayhem. But and my dad was playing, Louis Armstrong and Ella and Coltrane and stuff on literally 24/7 on the radio around my house. So it never stopped, and the jazz really seeped into me at a very, very young age. My dad actually played Miles Davis in utero.
Put the headphones on?
He did. He put the headphones on my mother and started me really early. So this music is really in me, in my cellular makeup. So I did take a detour and went at age 16. I auditioned for Juilliard for the drama department and got in, and ended up moving from Chicago. I was born and raised in Hyde Park, and ended up moving to New York at a very, very tender young age. And somehow I survived Juilliard. After a couple of years, I switched over to the voice department, and I got my bachelor's and my master's in classical voice. So, and then I ended up singing Mozart and Strauss, and got, I was hired pretty much right out of school to start singing the Ina roles, as I say, Susanna, Despina, Carolina, all the Mozart stuff.
So coming from a family where there was lots of music and music educators, did you find it hard to be educated by other people, to have other people telling you or guiding you?
It's a good question. It's interesting because actually what was valued in my family was education and learning and keeping an open mind and always trying to learn more. And I think that's the foundation that I have, and why probably the reason that I'm still singing and exploring new material to this very day is because I'm a learner. I'm constantly questing for searching for new material and searching to learn how to be better at what I do.
And you're an analyst. I'm an analyst also, asking lots of questions, finding out things. Are there areas in music that you haven't yet explored that you really want to, and what may some of those be?
Wow. I actually, coming back from the classical music world to jazz, that has been in itself, a huge, wonderful exploration and adventure for me. And the only thing that I can think of that where I would go farther is in the direction of, like, when I took this tune by Sting called Until, which is on the album, which you wouldn't have thought would translate, but it translates beautifully into this jazz waltz kind of gypsy waltz thing, and to find pop classics that are overlooked. And I've got some that we're getting ready to record even for a new album that people just have forgotten about, and we're really they're like discovering gold, and then their hills. It's exciting.
Excellent. Well, I wanted to play another tune, and you have time to hang out with us for a bit more, so we can talk after this one too. So the composition is one of the original ones for you. It's Telescope. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, this is a song that I wrote inspired by my daughter Emma. When she was about 8 years old, I took her to the Hayden Planetarium in New York City, and she had, once she was inside, she had one of these moments that all kids have, this like discovery, an explosion of questions in her head about the Earth and the origin of the universe and the origin of the galaxies and the stars and who was Galileo, and she pummeled me with questions, and I had no answers. I was not prepared for this. Had like an existential crisis as a parent, but I did come home and write this song. It's called Telescope.
Excellent. Well, I guess we'll find out a little bit more as we listen. We're chatting with Rondi Charleston. Her new disc is In My Life. She's going to be playing tomorrow at Dizzy's San Diego here in beautiful San Diego. And this is the composition Telescope on the new Jazz Thing, Jazz 88.3.
It's actually her singing back up.